Oh, this is Colt here with Hamilton Native Outpost, and I want to show you something here today about grazing a D&G and how we do that through the winter. So we're getting into late winter. We're at the end of February, and got a couple bulls over there that we're keeping back. And so how am I grazing those is what I want to show you. So you can kind of see the field we're in here. Got a lot of sunflowers, big blue stem Indian. Looks fairly brown. But when we start to look down at the ground, we start to see, get over here where we can see better. We look down at the ground, we start to see the green in there. And when we start to really walk around, there's little bits of green everywhere we go, but it's mixed in with that brown warm season grass aftermath from last year, the dormant growth. So what I'm doing to graze my animals is I have some cool season grasses and forbs that grow all year long out here, and that is what I'm grazing. And I'm grazing them in such a way, like here's a gray-headed coneflower, and you can see a few stems here that have been bit off. You can see growth here that is not. And if this one particular happened to have, like this here, has more growth up over the top of it. If an animal is going to eat this off, like it has this one here, they're going to consume some of this brown grass with it. And this brown grass, this is this particular one, some fine leaves, big blue stem, and it's dormant, and the quality of it is not great. It's not terrible. It's not just absolutely no nutritional value. It's actually probably adequate for a good a cow that is not lactating, just a dry bred cow. It's probably almost adequate. It doesn't take much of an addition of this or this to get you, or even this green grass, this little wild rye, to get you up to where the quality is satisfactory. Now, am I saying your cattle are going to get fat out here? No, I actually expect my cattle to lose a little bit of weight over the winter time as winter goes on and they're not quite meeting their needs. But as long as I keep them bred here in March, I will start to put weight on them. We don't calve till April, May, June, July. Even though they got that calf sucking them, I expect them to gain weight. August can go either way. It gets a little bit hot. It gets a little bit, if we get a little bit dry, the natives start to go reproductive towards August, September, October, and then my cool seasons come back on. But here in the spring, what I'm doing is, if they want to eat this rye, for instance, they bringing in some brown with it. And let's say they select a round in this field and they get 10% of their diet to be that lush green, high protein, high energy grass, and they mix that with this brown stuff that's just almost adequate. And I'm expecting my cows to actually be gaining weight today. We're here at the 1st of March. Now back in February, I did not expect them to be gaining weight. We're starting to get way more growth on this. And so I'm starting that into the gaining period, heading up to calving. But what I want to talk to you about is how you graze this. So just because you've got all this tonnage of dormant grass, that is not what you're watching. When you're deciding whether to move your livestock, that's not what you're watching for. What I'm wanting to do is leave the animals in here till I've removed about 1/3 to 1/2 of the growth of the green. They'll eat some brown with that, and then I will move on to a different field. And this will grow right back, just like it would, just like we're used to green plants growing back. This will grow back. Now it's a little slower, but in 45 days, it will be bigger or as big as what it is now if I only remove a little bit of the growth. So I graze through, remove part of the growth, just like I would if it was all green and growing. Then I come back and graze it again. And each time I do, there's always brown grass for them to mix in with it to fill up their belly. and there's always quality regrowth. Now this takes a few more acres over winter than it does over the summertime, so you kind of got to plan your stocking rates accordingly, or do some supplementation if you're wanting to you know, run a consistent sized herd all year long and get the maximum out of the summer. What I tend to do is wean my calves when the cows start to drop off in the fall. Some years that will be January, February. Some years, and that would be winter, of course, not fall. Sometimes it's as early as November. And so I just kind of watch my cow condition. I pull my calves, and that reduces the size of my herd in my older cows, dries them up, and then they can utilize this rougher quality pasture that I have so much of through the wintertime. Then I take my calves and I put them on some of my better pastures where I have better for winter pastures, where I have more cool season grasses and forbs and less brown warm season. Now when I say less, I mean probably has half as much of the brown warm season and twice as much or a little bit more of the green cool season. So I'm grazing my calves virtually the same way. I'm just picking my better places for that. And that's kind of how we graze our cattle through the winter, so we don't have to supplement much. This year we got 13, 14 inches of snow in February, and I, for the most part, let my cows graze down through this. I do keep some hay just in case, you know, I want to use it, or if I've made a mistake and I let my cows get a little thinner than I want, I can use those things to help pick them up a little bit. Sometimes we'll use dried distiller's grain. Just kind of depends on the situation, the price of cattle, a lot of different factors. So that's kind of how we graze a warm season, well, not a warm season, a diverse native for the purpose of grazing. That's how we graze it through the winter time. One last thing I want to show you is right here across the fence is a planting that's just exactly the same. It's done the same way. We just put a hot wire up as a dividing fence. And on this side, I grazed it through the winter in a rotation like we talked. And then I burnt this about a month ago. So I burned this in the first part of February. And you can see a lot of little green shoots coming up. Some of that's wild onion, which is not really part of our mixture. But a lot of this is wild rice. A few of the forbs are beginning to green up again for the year. And so this will be your really, from a distance, it really looks lush and green. This will be really, really quality feed here when we get to the end of March. And as I go through and do my final graze on my ones that still have the old growth on them, I do burn a lot, particularly this year. Cattle are kind of high, and I'm wanting to hit as much calf growth as I can versus just trying to kind of keep things going. So I've done more burning this year to get ready for that. And whenever we hit April, I'll start to calve, and we'll have those cows on really good stuff, and we'll be able to put a lot of weight on the cow and the calf all summer long. Anyways, that's how we do it. If you enjoy these videos, check us out on YouTube, Facebook, and our website.
We at Hamilton Native Outpost make these videos to share the unique knowledge that we have gained from over 40 years of working with native plants as we raise and sell native grass and wildflower seeds. If you found this video helpful, we need your help to get the message out. Please subscribe, share, like, and comment. It helps others to find us. Thank you.